In this episode of the How to Get on Reality TV podcast, we help a young viewer figure out what to do before they're eligible to apply. Welcome to the How to Get on Reality TV podcast with Dan Giesling, where I answer your reality TV casting questions once a week. Hey everyone, welcome to the 85th episode of the How to Get on Reality TV podcast. That's a lot of episodes. We're approaching episode 100, but that's neither here nor there. Super excited for this week's question because we often get some form of this, whether it's an email or whether, there's a few questions in the voicemail box similar to this about what do you do if you're not old enough to apply for a reality TV show, and some few people might think right now, well, what if I'm old enough? How does this apply to me? And the answer is going to help you as well because the principles are all the same. It's just that people who are younger than the age cutoff have a little bit more time to prepare things. But that being said, let's go ahead and jump into this week's question from Tyler, all the way from, I don't know where he's from. He didn't say, but here it is.
Hi Dan, my name's Tyler from Winnipeg, Canada. I'm only 16 years old, and I'm dying to get on the show. I've been waiting for 10 years. Unfortunately, I have to wait till I'm 19, and that involves sitting around doing nothing. But I feel like there is something I can do to help myself get noticed in the meantime. I've talked to many former house guests, and not very many have been able to give me a clear-cut answer. I would appreciate any kind of response from you. You're one of my heroes. You're one of those players that I really look up to, who inspires me even more to get on the show. So thank you for taking the time to listen to this.
All right, Tyler, first and foremost, thank you so much for submitting your question through the website at howtogetonrealitytv.net/ask. And so Tyler is 16 years old, and he's got to wait 2 to 3 years to apply for a reality TV show in Canada. And so you have 3 years to not only decide, but to also start building your story now. So really, Tyler, I'm going to keep this short and simple for you with some actions in there, because doesn't matter whether you're 16 or whether you're 61 and you're trying to get on reality TV. None of it matters unless you take action and you actually do something with it. So the first thing you need to do, Tyler, and this may be a little tough given your situation, trying to project, but when you turn 19, you have to think, okay, when I'm 19, how do I want to pitch myself? And for you, that's like, okay, maybe 2 and 3 years away, but still, when you have that opportunity, you got to attack it. And for you, you got to have some foresight to say, because here's how you're going to walk into casting. You're going to walk into casting young and inexperienced. So those are the two things you're going to have to combat. So my suggestion to you is to build a story that's going to fight against those two things, right? So if you're young and inexperienced, that is either going to play to your advantage, but there's going to be a lot of other 19-year-olds, or you could go the opposite route and say how being young doesn't necessarily mean you're inexperienced. So what does that mean, taking it one step further? Well, being inexperienced means you haven't really done a lot with your life. You haven't taken action on a lot of things in your life. You don't have a lot of life experience. So what you're going to need to do in these next 2 to 3 years is you're going to need to cram your life with a lot of life experience. And what do I mean by that? You have to physically go and do things, right? So you have to physically go and create good stories and things that are going to give you experience. So for example, don't do this, but I always mention one of the things I did is I ran a marathon. Okay, I ran it untrained, not because I wanted to, because I really didn't. I did it because it would give me something to talk about. Even if I mention it for 1 or 2 seconds or 1 or 2 sentences in the casting, that's something extraordinary that not a lot of people do. Run a marathon untrained. That's not healthy to do. I don't recommend it. But you got to start thinking of some unique, extraordinary things you can do with your life for the next 3 years. That isn't like, oh, I did well in school, or oh, hey, like I worked at the local summer park. Those are all really ordinary things. You have to do extraordinary things to get cast on reality TV. So where I'd start with you, after you define, okay, how do you want to look when you're 19 in terms of what's the story you want to pitch? Then all of a sudden, right, so let's say it's 3 years away. That's 36 months roughly. So what I would do one thing a month, write a list of 30 things that's extraordinary in life. It could be physical, it could be mental, it could be business-wise, it could be putting yourself in weird situations, whether it's volunteering in different nation, not that that's weird, but unique situations. I don't know. But you got to come up with 30 things that you're going to do between now and you're 19, and then you got to go and take action on them. And once you do that, the most important thing is you need to do 3 things with those 30 extraordinary things. The first thing you need to do is you need to have some sort of record of them. So record them, take pictures, video, whatever. You don't have to get crazy with it and have set up cameras, but just have some footage from it and at least have some photos. So record, remember it, and then you got to be able to tell stories about it, right? Because say you ran a marathon on train. Okay, cool, but can you explain what it was like when you hit the 21st mile and it was on an empty island and and how did you fight through it, right? So you got to be able to take these extraordinary things and extrapolate or develop stories from them. And so, you're not going to be able to remember all these 30 things when the time comes, so you got to keep some record of it. I did X, here was the best part of it, here was the worst part about it, here's how I'm going to use it in my story. Boom, do that once a month for the next 3 years, and by the time you turn 19, all of a sudden you got a lot of life experience. But you can't just do everyday things and be like, oh, today I painted the fence. Well, who cares, right? You have to do extraordinary things. So things that are out of the ordinary. Now, if you're not 16, if you are eligible, you need to cram pack a lot of things in a short amount of time, because depending on when you listen to this, I think for this part of the cycle, we may just be opening a different part of casting for Big Brother Canada, whatever. You got a few months to start doing some of those things. And it's not always extraordinary like running and Tough Mudders, because those things are outplayed right now. How many people submit videos and show them of doused in mud and doing these crazy runs? It's not it. You got to get creative. You got to do different things. Different stories and things that I did 10 years ago don't work now either. You've got to be innovative. You've got to do things that other people aren't willing to do. And, Tyler, to me, if you're willing to come on the podcast and ask a question, it means the strong desire is there. Now it's just, what are you going to do with that energy and desire? You're just going to sit back and chill while, your friends may be out, doing whatever this summer. You're going to start working on your story, man. It's all up to you. And same thing with you guys who are of age that can apply for reality TV. How serious are you about it? Really, this is kind of a challenge episode, because there's people that, oh yeah, when the season rolls around, oh, I should have applied. Oh, or I should have put a little more time into our video. Well, guess what? At that point, it's too late. So hope you guys take this as like a shot in the arm of, to get you guys going, because there's a lot of things you can be doing right now, even though it's not open casting season, to put yourself in a position to be successful later down the road. Anyways, Tyler, there's a small thank you. We're going to send you a free digital copy of my story, How a Normal Guy Got Cast on Reality TV. And if you want your question answered on the podcast, go to howtogetonrealitytv.net/ask and leave your question there. We need some fresh questions. Send in some fresh questions. Send in your case studies. Share your story. Share your video. And we'll break them down here on the channel just for you. Thank you guys for watching. All right, so that wraps up episode 85 of the How to Get on Reality TV podcast. If you guys haven't added me on Snapchat, go ahead and do that. It's all one word, Dan Giesling. We haven't approached the special Snapchat edition, but that is going to be coming soon. So you want to add me on before, because when the time comes, it's going to be too late. So it's just going to happen spontaneous. And I hope to see you guys there. So you can just add me on Snapchat. It's just Dan Giesling, all one word, all lowercase. And I will see you guys next Monday. Have a great one.